Cyberpunk Edgerunners was a major hit, and even several months later, we're still missing its incredible action and heartbreaking story. We're gonna talk about some of our favorite fun facts from Edgerunners, including how the video game spoiled the anime's ending, which you don't want to miss. Starting off, we've got a fun fact about the show's fan-favorite trigger-happy girl, Rebecca. She's a great character, but did you know that originally CD Projekt Red didn't want to have her in the show? They were a bit hesitant to include Rebecca since they felt that her character design didn't fit in with the rest of Night City's world. And yeah, we get where they're coming from. If you line up all the characters together, Rebecca definitely stands out the most. Fans have also compared Rebecca to the Batman character Harley Quinn. And yeah, we can see a lot in common between Rebecca and Harley, mostly when it comes to their pale skin and twin pigtails, but also in terms of their personalities, where both of them are more than a little unstable, especially while fighting people. Next up, here's some juicy stuff about Lucy. Her full name is actually Lucina Kushinada, and she's supposed to be half Polish and half Japanese, which of course is a meta reference to the Polish studio CD Projekt Red and the Japanese studio Trigger working together on this anime. Rafał Jacki, the director from the CD Projekt side of things, has also confirmed that Lucy is named after his mother, which is kinda sweet. Lucy's name may also have a bit of symbolism to it as well, since Lucina is also another name sometimes given to the Roman goddesses Diana and Juno, two goddesses associated with the moon, which of course is where Lucy dreams of visiting. Lucy also seems to be based off of three famous women from the world of science fiction. First is Motoko Kusanagi, better known as the Major. She's the protagonist of the iconic anime film Ghost in the Shell, a majorly influential piece of cyberpunk anime. The anime's character designer Yo-Yo Shinari has confirmed that Lucy was intentionally modeled after the Major, and we can definitely see the resemblance. Another character Lucy seems to be based on is Molly Millions from Neuromancer, Johnny Mnemonic, and other stories by author William Gibson. They both play similar roles in their respective stories and are connected to the shady underground of the world they live in. They both also use razor-sharp wires in combat. Neuromancer is often thought of as what really brought the cyberpunk genre into popularity, so this reference does make sense. As a fun side note, Keanu Reeves starred in the film adaptation of Johnny Mnemonic, and of course would later go on to be Johnny Silverhand, both in appearance and voice in Cyberpunk 2077.
Johnny Silverhand.
Finally, another character that Lucy seems similar to is Rei Ayanami from the classic mecha anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, mostly in terms of their aloof personality, short bobbed haircut, and mysterious past, although Lucy does seem to be way better at showing emotion than Rei. Another possible Evangelion reference with Lucy comes in the form of her dream of visiting the moon one day. Every episode of Evangelion ended with a cover of the classic jazz song Fly Me to the Moon. Newer releases of Evangelion have had to remove the song due to licensing issues, but the song is still heavily associated with Evangelion and the anime community. The Evangelion reference makes a lot of sense when you remember that Studio Trigger was founded by two former employees of Gainax, the studio behind Evangelion. Trigger founder and Cyberpunk director Hiroyuki Imaishi even made his own mech show while working at Gainax, the always iconic Gurren Lagann. Something you may have noticed is that all the episodes are titled after songs. Some are pretty obvious, like episode 3 being called Smooth Criminal like the Michael Jackson song, or episode 5 being titled All Eyes on Me after the Tupac song. But some are a bit less obvious, like episode 8 being titled Stay. It turns out that there are a lot of songs called Stay. Everyone from David Bowie to Post Malone has used it as a song title, but episode 8 is specifically named after the Rihanna song Stay. You're gonna be shocked with this next one. Remember Kiwi? She's the one with the cool face mask. Well, we've got a weird fact about her. Okay, so when Kiwi appears in her birthday suit in one episode, fans noticed that a certain region on her chest was blue. We hope you know what we're talking about, cause it isn't exactly a normal color for those. This led to a meme within the fandom where people joked that those were cybernetic and dispensed blue Gatorade. When this meme got brought up in a Reddit AMA, director Hiroyuki Imaishi himself said that they do not. Instead, he said that they sometimes shoot spider webs. We can't make this stuff up. So yeah, Kiwi's basically Cyberpunk's answer to Spider-Man. Additionally, Imaishi has said that Kiwi is his favorite out of the main cast of Edgerunners. We can definitely see why, not just because of the spiderweb thing, but because she has an awesome design and cool, confident personality. One character on Main's crew you may have forgotten about is Falco. He's probably the most normal member of the crew and gets a bit overshadowed by big personalities like Rebecca, but he's still a fun character. character, like how he dresses and talks like a cowboy even though it's the future. His English voice actor is Matthew Mercer, who's famous for playing another cowboy character, McCree from Overwatch. This isn't Mercer's first time dubbing a show produced by Trigger either. He was also the English voice of the character Aikuro Mikisugi from Trigger's first major production, Kill la Kill. Of course, Matthew Mercer is probably best known as the English voice of Jotaro Kujo and as the host of the Dungeons & Dragons web show Critical Role. Another fun thing about the English version is that all three main leads of Demon Slayer are in the cast. David is played by Tanjiro's English voice actor, while David's high school bully Tanaka is played by Zenitsu's dub actor, and Julio, the shortly lived member of David's crew, is played by Inosuke's actor. Also, yes, that technically means we get to see Zenitsu bullying Tanjiro in the English version of Edgerunners. Shortly before the anime came out, the Cyberpunk 2077 game released an update that included several nods to the show. There's a side quest in the game called Over the Edge, where you can actually watch the opening scene of the anime in-game. The quest also involves having a text conversation with Falco, and at the end, you're rewarded with David's iconic jacket as a wearable item. Another item from the anime that you can find in-game is Rebecca's shotgun, which is actually nicknamed Guts. It can be found at the Central Corporate Plaza, which of course is where we last saw Rebecca alive before the whole Atom Smasher thing. Speaking of Atom Smasher, fans of the game may already know that he's the final boss of Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, it's now become something of a trend to sort of get revenge on Atom Smasher for the ending of Edgerunners by killing him with Rebecca's shotgun while wearing David's jacket. One last thing included in the game that references the show is a special drink you can purchase at the in-game bar The Afterlife. The drink is called the David Martinez, and it's vodka on the rocks mixed with soda. This may seem innocuous, but this drink totally spoils the ending of Edgerunners if you haven't seen it yet. The quest where you get his jacket keeps David's fate ambiguous, but all the special cocktails served at the Afterlife are named after famous Night City Edgerunners who died. So yeah, the game spoils David's death if you know where to look. This drink also has a twist of irony to it, since David actually really hated soda, so if he was still alive, he probably wouldn't even like the drink they named after him. And even before the anime came out, the creative team for Cyberpunk 2077 seemed to enjoy putting anime references into the game. For example, if you go into photo mode, you can select several poses for your player character to take. These include poses that are references to anime like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Remember how earlier we said each episode is named after a song? Well, the musical naming of each episode is also something of a nod to the Cyberpunk 2077 video game. In the game, most of the missions you go on were also named after famous songs, which we think is pretty neat. The music in Edgerunners is of course great, and in doing some research, we found out that the musician behind the ending theme is actually pretty famous in Poland. His name is Dawid Podsiadło, and he was actually the 2012 winner of the Polish version of the X Factor. Major props to him, the ending theme is amazing. Another neat thing about the ending theme, Let You Down, is that it actually has a fully animated music video. It even tells a full story. The events of the video take place before the anime and tell the story of a netrunner named Sasha who worked for Main's crew before Lucy or Kiwi. It's an amazing video and you should absolutely check it out for yourself. Also, check out this piece of concept art for the video game. We couldn't help but notice that the man featured in the art looks a lot like David. His muscular build, skin tone, and yellow jacket make the resemblance very interesting. Of course, there's no way of knowing if David was based off this old piece of concept art, but we still think it's neat. So, which of these fun facts was your favorite?